the Crypt Keeper of Creepy, the provocative prince of the tweens, the nightmare from Neptune. It's Zabujard!
My life goals to build a gymnastics gym, maybe get a hot tub, maybe I don't know, build a gym. It would be easier if I just stole someone else's gym, wouldn't it? I'm surprised by how many couples I see outside. What do men and women even offer each other anymore? Women are boring and they don't know how to tell jokes. And so why do people even still date? What is it? What do they offer each other now? The answer is that love is a drug and a chemical in the brain, and it makes people want to date other people or something like that. The only thing you need is yourself, and you don't even actually need a boring woman. It might feel in your head like you do, but you actually don't. I think. And anyways, moving on to my next point. Our parents lived life on autopilot. They followed the human script. Go to school, get a job, and have a family and die. That was, if I had to write a book about how to be a human for the last 100 years, that's literally all I would write in the faggot book. Go to school, maybe. Try not to die, I guess, and have a family and blah blah blah, have a job, buy a house, etc. It was that easy. It was autopilot life. And now humans have to think a lot harder because all those options are pretty much gone. Or at least a lot of those options are very hard or gone now. If you want to believe that. Maybe that's wrong. But anyway, so if you're part of the crowd that doesn't have a GF like me, doesn't follow that script that our parents followed, that means our generation has to be a lot smarter and a lot more creative on how to live life without jumping off a bridge. Our generation has to think very smartly and creatively to get enough support and joy and satisfaction from life to want to level up to the next day of life. For our parents, it was autopilot. We can't do autopilot anymore. Maybe you can. I don't know. But it kind of seems like you can't. The script has changed. And now, the book about how to be a human for the last 100 years, that book is outdated and expired, and that book is thrown into a dumpster fire. It's returned to the library. And now there's no book on how to be a human. You can look for religious books, or in my case, I'd probably write my own book at this point. If I had to start a religion and be religious, I think I'd start my own religion and write my own book. But anyways, that's what it's come down to now. It's come down to every person has to write their own book on what satisfies their lives and how they want to live and their future life goals and present life goals and past life goals, and try to get to those goalposts. And so there's now no autopilot, and there's no book on how to be a human. So now I'm thinking, well, what the hell do we do as a human? What do we do as humans? What's the next step? What should we be doing? In my current brain, I'm a bit confused on things because there's no end-all be-all book. People might say religious books. They might say the Bible. Pretend the Bible didn't exist for a second. There's no end-all be-all book. And nobody really knows what we're doing here or which direction the planet's going or whatever. And who built all the buildings before us and stuff like that. It's tricky. I think right now being a human here is quite tricky. And there's been civilization resets in the past. They give you the fake nigger ones like Rome and Greece and stuff like that. If you want to believe in those fairy tale civilizations that disappeared and reappeared and blah blah blah. Egypt, ancient Egypt, the Incas, the Mayans. Maybe they were real. Maybe they were surreal. Maybe they were cereal boxes. Doesn't matter. The point is they're gone. And so they don't matter. Ish. And with the billionaires building bunkers, I think they're expecting a reset. It seems like people are being brainwashed into thinking this will be a rapture type event. And maybe it will. Maybe Christians will disappear. I don't know. I don't care. But regardless, I think they're building bunkers because they're afraid of a upcoming reset event. And all the volcanoes have been hacked with machines. That's what volcanoes are for. They're energy devices used by previous civilizations and shit. And nukes aren't even real. I think someone sneezed and farted, and then that's what destroyed Hiroshima. And it was probably someone with bad gas, such as Shrek, or Shrek 2, or Shrek 3 through 5. Because if you've seen any of the Shrek films, you know how bad his gas can get. Really bad. And I don't think there's any evidence of nukes, but I think there is evidence of very large BOMBs, which are different from nukes. And they are mostly... Someone in the comments said that I wish that every single chick in the world was, and I don't know what they mean by this, they said lined up in a pressurized air chamber, forced to stand in a line while pressurized air in a locked pressurized air chamber, and then they just start dropping like flies. Somebody wrote this on what was that old Flash game? Somebody wrote this on the Neopets website. The owner of Neopets.com wrote this on the front page of his website. And did you guys hear about Pamper Chew who got cancer from eating microwave diapers? Look up the story of Pamper Chew. It's a very bizarre story. Very bizarre story of Pamper Chew, the diaper-wearing savant. Not savant. I mean, similar to anyways. And let's think, what's your spirit animal? My spirit animal, I don't know what it is, to be honest, but I think I've narrowed it down a little bit, and I think it's probably between a fox and a bat. and maybe a crow. Or, maybe a jellyfish, like Fetus said, a jellyfish. Or, yeah, maybe one of those things. Try to think, is there a particular animal some of you guys relate to? If there is, that could be your spirit animal. This is a Norse mythology idea. It also makes me think of, shout out to Deutsche Videos, those old Budweiser frog commercials where the humans are drinking Budweiser and turning into frogs. Drunk people are associated with reptiles, especially frogs. Frogs are drunks. And whoever created animals and humans and all these creatures were all connected in this weird, matrixy, fucked up, strange, unable to understand, trying to understand the internet with one brain cell type of way. I don't understand this matrix place. And, but I think that the animals and the humans are somehow connected, and all the, I guess it's like that Pocahontas song. Run a mountain, can you sing with all the colors of the wind? We are all connected to each other in a hoop, in a loop that never ends. How high is a sycamore grow? If you cut it down, then you'll never know. Can you ever hear the footsteps of a dead nigger with AIDS? And whether we are light or copper skin? Can you sing with all the voices of the mountain? Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? And, anyways, frogs are drunks, and I can prove that because all the Budweiser commercials have frogs in them. And also, reptilians are associated with bad things. Kind of sneaky energy, loosh harvesting, kind of evil, kind of despicable, kind of mischievous, kind of dirty, kind of... and look, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with people who have reptile spirit animals, but I'm saying that those types of people are rough around the edges, and you probably don't want to hang around them for more than 1 second. But there's nothing wrong with whatever person that is out there. I don't mind. And maybe they're very nice reptiles. Maybe they are spirit animals of a cute little garden snake. I don't know. And I know snakes get a bad rap from the Bible, and so do goats from the Baphomet, but goats actually cry tears. They're very adorable animals. They're not these demonic Baphomet creatures. And snakes, they're... I think they can be cute as well. And I don't think, they get a bad rap from the Bible as snakes, but I think they... I've never owned a snake, but I knew someone who owned a snake. And I don't think I'm afraid of snakes. I think I would definitely prefer hanging out with snakes rather than hanging out with something like crickets or, I really hate crickets. They just really creep me out. I'm totally okay with spiders and everything. Also not a fan of ants or beetles and roaches and things like that. Especially crickets, because they jump really fast and really high. And I hate that. But I think snakes are kind of fun. I think they're very nice little whatever. They're fun to touch and they're fun to squeeze. You can't do that with a cricket. You can't squeeze it for fun. And yeah, so I think snakes are fine. If you guys are a snake person, it's whatever. Just something to think about. Think about your spirit animal and all that stuff. And you can write it in the comment. And don't just, if you're a lazy NEET, don't just write sloth without thinking about it. People say, I'm a fucking sloth. I just suck my cock all day. Actually, think about your entire life. And I think I know what my parents are. I think one of them is a dog, for sure. Because it's a very peppy animal. And I think the other one is I'm not really quite sure, actually. And then I think my other one is I don't know, a penguin? No. I have no idea, actually, on the other one. And, yeah. And the most respected Norse spirit animals are bear and wolf. And other big ones are eagles, maybe an owl. Foxes are mischievous creatures, and I can pull a few pranks on my cartoons. Crows and even seagulls are extremely annoying creatures, so I think annoying people kind of sound like seagulls to me. Not just saying. And I'm a human. I don't relate to animals. I evolved from a nigger ape, and I don't believe humans and animals have anything in common. Well, the weird thing is, I don't believe in fag science, but all the faggot scientists say, oh, we share 99% of our DNA with apes and bananas, and we share 96% of our cock DNA with cockroaches, and 55% of our penile DNA with fish. You know? So I think that is a little interesting that we share our DNA so closely with these other species and creatures, and I think that proves that I know people say, oh, animals don't have souls. They're pieces of shit and trash, and they should be slaughtered and eaten like the pigs they are and stuff like this. But even if they don't have souls or they're not smart enough, I think that they are pretty chill. And so I think this is worth thinking about. And also, pigs do look and act a lot like humans. I really do kind of think that pigs were hybrids of humans and split cross species with another bovine or something. Because when I look in a pig's eyes, it looks just like a human eye. And so that makes me immediately think that pigs were definitely humans at one point, but were crossbred with another animal. And cross species did exist. Griffins were real. Gargoyles probably real. Ligers might have been real. Platypuses are fucked up looking and they're real. And these mythical unicorns were real. All these mythical species, dragons are real, and those can be your spirit animal too. It doesn't just have to be a normal, boring pig, which is, probably a lot of men and women who just fucking eat all day. I would imagine they would remind me of pigs, like Spirited Away, and I don't know. Maybe that was rude. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with being a piggy. I don't mind little piggies. And anyways, back to the topic at hand. What are we supposed to do as humans now that the script has been ripped into a million pieces? We can't be on autopilot anymore. We actually have to use our brains now. We can't just have a family and get a job now. That don't work no mo. Now, everybody is doing 20 side jobs, 20 hand jobs, 25 blow jobs, side hustles, meal hustles, hustling, deal bustles, bovine trussels, fussles, nigger, nussles, niggers. You have to use your brain now. You have to use your brain. What are people going to do when they start using their brain for once? And people have to stop smoking weed 24/7 to even use their brain. Our generation, because they can't be on autopilot like our parents did, now they're on autopilot by just smoking weed every day. That's their autopilot. I don't have to think I just want to smoke weed and watch Seinfeld all day. Okay? I want to watch Seinfeld reruns and smoke this joint. And I'm going to load up another bowl when I'm almost done with this bowl, because I need a new bowl to be loaded up for when I finish this bowl. I need to have my next bowl loaded up so I can watch reruns of Night Visions with Henry Rollins, which is a great show from the 90s, or I can rewatch reruns of Seinfeld. And so I always have to make sure I have more weed on hand. I need to call my dealer to make sure there's weed. I don't want to run out of weed. And anyway, I don't know. There's nothing wrong with being creative. There's nothing wrong with having a different life than your parents and doing other different things besides having a family and whatever it is people do now. I don't know. And there's nothing wrong with doing whatever it is you're doing, I guess, unless you think it's wrong or it breaks a trillion laws or something like that. I think if I'm going to be a human, or at least inhabit a human's body, then I'm allowed to have my own opinions, my own views, my own religion, my own ideas, my own actions, my own habits, my own thoughts, my own brain, my own organs, my own body, my own exercises, my own routines, my own podcasts, my own Patreon, and my own cartoons, and my own jokes, my own pranks, my own whatever I want, I think should be given to me immediately if I want it, because as a human I think I'm entitled to whatever I want. If I'm going to be stuck in this prison suit body or whatever, then at least give me every single little thing that I have ever asked for or ever want. I think that's a fair trade-off between you and me. I think there's a fair trade-off. And I think I do pretty much get everything I want, except for some reason I don't have a GF, which I think I probably want. But like I said earlier, what are you even going to do with the GF? What, you gonna plop her around for an hour and then go back on your screen, your phone, and then she goes back on her phone for a few hours, and then you get horny again? You say, all right, let's get back to plopping, and then 10 minutes goes by, or about 20 seconds if you're Nick Senni goes by, and then you can say, okay, all right, I'm going to go back to playing Roblox on my phone. What are you going to do? Oh, I'm going to go back to playing Roblox on my phone. Okay, see you soon. Another hour goes by, and then, oh man, whatever, yeah. And then just do that for eternity? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. So I don't know what people are supposed to do. I don't know what couples are supposed to do. I don't know what relationships look like anymore. I don't know what marriages look like anymore. I mean, most marriages fail now, and then 1/3 of those men off themselves. So 1/3 of men get divorced now because their wives they filed divorce papers on them, and then 1/3 of those men jump off of a bridge, and now we got 1/9 of the men, or something like that. I don't know how math works. I think it's always been really fucking gay, but I know math is used for a lot of special things. I think if someone's going to bring me into their religion, I do like being coddled and not guilt-tripped or yelled at or screamed at or angrily pointed a finger at. You're going to hell if you don't do this. You are going to burn. You're going to have judgment inflicted on your ass. Because I hear this all the time from my Jewish friend, of course, and stuff like that. All these extremely hostile, vicious things about joining a cult or a religion or a religious group. And I will never, I don't think I'm ever going to join a group again that guilt trips me or does anything to make me feel bad about anything about me, kind of. And because I think that's fucking gay and niggerish and stupid as fuck. Fuck you. And I think that's just cringe, and I don't believe in guilt or sin or anything anymore like that. I feel humans are just whatever. Humans are strange little creatures, and I just don't care about anything anymore except myself and stuff. And I don't care, so people, whatever. And I think you should care about yourself a lot, probably way more than anyone has ever cared before. You should probably do that. And so I don't care. If I'm going to join a religion, I think I'll just write my own from now on or something. And I think I've pretty much been doing that for a while now. And my religious views change every year, so this will be different from a year from now, I'm sure. Because I'm always thinking about this kind of stuff. For some reason, it is always interesting to me. I went to a Christian church today for fun, because I had some free time, because, all I have is free time, LOL, and I was in the neighborhood, so I just drove to this Christian church I went to, and the people are very nice and chill there. And so I like the environment, and they give free coffee. So yeah, I filled my cup up, and it's free refills. So I filled my cup up with a huge cup of free coffee. I'm not kidding. And I just sipped on it the whole time. And I also really like to fall asleep in churches. It doesn't matter what church it is. I always just, I have a very nice time just falling asleep to pastors talking while I sip coffee and fall asleep, and I fall asleep in my chair. And I've done this like a trillion times. It's very easy for me to fall asleep in churches. But I couldn't fall asleep today in this church, and I don't know why. But I think it's because I had a really bad sleep, and also I had a lot of coffee in the church. But usually, 99% of the time, I can fall asleep so easily in churches. So I'm not sure why I couldn't fall asleep today, but I think it's because I only got like 5 hours of sleep. And I think for some reason, and then I did a lot of exercise. And so I think that woke me up somehow. And then I just couldn't fall asleep in church, which is what I enjoy doing. But that's okay. It's still nice. No, it's still a nice time. And the pastor said a lot of stuff I don't agree with anymore. And he said some stuff that maybe I do agree with. I don't know. I don't remember. He said, if he said nice stuff, then I agree with it. If he said wagging my finger at you stuff, then I don't agree with it. I don't care. For example, some of the stuff I didn't agree with, Jesus said, if you're hot or you have to be hot or cold. You can't be in the middle. But then the Jewish Kabbalah says you should be in the middle. And I kind of agree with that, I guess. It's nice. It's okay to be in the middle. You don't have to. You can be whatever you want. You don't have to be left or right. You can be. I think you can be in the middle. I think being in the middle is better in most circumstances, because then you're kind of neutral. If you're on the low side, then you're going to do all this evil shit. So I don't think Jesus telling people to be on the left or right, that's going to encourage more people to just be really evil and do a lot of evil shit. And then people being on the right side, I mean, that's fine. That's more positive people. I agree with that. People should be more on the right or in the middle, but not on the left. I don't want more evil faggots here and stuff. I don't agree with that, Jesus. No, thank you. I don't want more evil niggers here. No, thanks. But middle and right, sure. Neutral people and positive, happy people, I agree with that. I like that. That sounds good to me. And that's just an example of the stuff I was, and I already know all the verses from the Bible and stuff, of course. And the pastor said that Jesus said that lukewarm people are people, that Jesus doesn't like lukewarm people, and lukewarm people are people who know the Bible like I do, but don't follow the correct actions. Which I think that probably explains some of the stuff. I think, of course, you're not going to follow everything to a T all the time. So I think that is redundant and retarded. And I don't know. But anyways, I don't consider myself any religion. I don't think I'm Jewish anymore. I don't think I'm just I think I'm Jerish now, which is my name is Jer. So I think I've always been Jerish. I've never fit into any particular whatever anywhere. And even that name, it's even important to remember that your name isn't you either. That's just some faggot human name that was forced on you by your parents. But I think the universe does use our names as our destiny and our fate, and you can look into your name and your natal birth chart and your astrology and all that stuff. I like that stuff. That's fun to look at, and I think the universe gives us all this interesting stuff to look at, and all 24/7. If we just look for it, it'll show it to us and talk to us and guide us in ways we can't even fucking imagine. And so keep your eyes peeled and your ears pierced. Keep your ears pierced and your eyes peeled. And yeah, yeah. So I don't know what to do at all. And I might be 10 years from now, I might still say, I don't know what to do at all. Maybe 20 years, maybe 30 years. Maybe that's just my cup of tea. Maybe that's just my human, will, my human destiny, ambition, whatever it is. I've always been curious, and I've always been confused about my place in this matrix, whatever the hell this place is, which is a very strange place. And I don't know what to make of it, and I've never knew what to make of it. Maybe someday I'll do more hardcore meditation and get to the bottom of things, but until then, it's quite hard to get the patience to meditate. But I do exercise sometimes, and I do think that that's a good thing. And I hang upside down a lot, which is why I think I relate to bats quite a bit. But I also, whatever animal likes to climb and stuff and be flexible, maybe the monkey. And of course, my zodiac sign is Pisces, and the Chinese year for the Pisces sign is the water monkey. And so I love water, by the way, so that fits. And I don't know about monkeys, but anyways. I think Pisces is actually confused a lot with being a water sign, but I think it might be an air sign. I think it is, but I can't remember. Someone can write in the comments if they want. And keep watching the cartoons and stuff like that. Bye-bye. And I think all the constant praying I was doing for the last few years while I was living in a dog shit hell town, had a dog shit hell job, stuff like that, and stuff. I think all the constant praying, I didn't really see any results at all. I mean, it's hard to say that with prayers over meals, right? But for all the other prayers I was doing, I don't really feel like I was seeing much of any results at all compared to, say, witchcraft magic rituals or something like that, where you can maybe see results better. And I felt like I did see some nice results with that sort of stuff. But as compared to praying to Jewish deities and stuff like that, I felt like I wasn't getting results at all. And more so than that, I feel like constant praying about stuff drains all of your energy. It was an interesting experiment. And praying for other people constantly drains all of your energy. And I probably drained a ton of my energy, and I still do sometimes in many ways, but not through constant prayer anymore. Barely any prayer at all. Pretty much zero. I'm trying to do zero. But it was hard to lower it to zero-ish or whatever, because I'm still confused whether I even want to pray anymore at all, instead of doing other spiritual things, for example. If I was to stand around and worry and pray about stuff, it would be better to just say, well, what can I do now to make myself feel better, or whatever? What can I do in the present moment? Instead of praying like, oh, please fix that fire and fix that person and fix this and fix that and heal this and heal that and heal this and heal her and heal him and heal me and heal blah, 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 praying to God knows what, who knows where's your energy being siphoned off to? If your prayer's not 100% about you, then your energy's going somewhere else. You know what I mean? If you're going to pray for yourself, that's probably better in general, maybe, because then at least your energy's kind of being recycled into yourself. You know what I'm saying? But if you're praying for all this random shit, or random shit you probably can't control in many ways. I was trying to control a lot of stuff through prayer, and it didn't work at all. And so it just seems like tons of constant prayer. And what did that get me? That got me hours and hours of constant prayer that did nothing. If I'm just doing constant prayer, that's a lot of energy that's being expended for something that is worthless and didn't work out at all, basically. I'm not saying prayer never works, because maybe it does, I don't know. But through my experiments, it seemed like I wasn't getting the results I wanted by trying to kind of, I don't know, maybe probably try to control things through prayer and stuff like that. And so that was kind of my experience with constant prayer.
Now it's time to have a snuggle with my very best friend in the whole wide world. You. Well, I'm glad you could come over. See you soon. Bye. And the clown jumped over the moon.